And welcome back to the Coach's Corner, sponsored by Premier Lending. I'm Devin Dubuc.
And I'm Coach Rick Koenig, and it's opening day in Cincinnati for the coach.
Hey, and it's opening day here in Texas, too, for the Rangers. Man, I hope if you're a baseball fan, you get a chance to take in a game today. And, man, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Opening season is here. I love it, man. I love opening day. So, Coach, we were talking to the green room earlier, and I think we got a good topic today. What are we talking about?
What do we do with those leads once we get them from that realtor we've worked so hard to get that lead from?
Yeah. So follow up.
Exactly. Follow up. What do you do when the lead that you get isn't reacting to your calls?
Yeah. Well, let's take that a little further because, we talked about, how to talk to an agent, how to get that agent, and how often to repeat and follow up and call those agents. But now that hard work that we've put in, they gave us a lead, right? And the lead's not calling. So what does that look like, Coach? So let's talk about it. When is a lead not calling? How often do we reach out to them?
Well, my method is the double down method. I call it the 4-3-2-1. So for the first 2 days, you want to contact them 4 times, and we'll walk through that. For the next 2 days, you want to contact them 3 times, then 2 times for the next 2 days, and then 2 times for the next day. And that gives you where you're contacting these people literally about 20 times over a 6-day period. And here's how that works. So you've worked hard, you've met the realtor, you get a referral, and they're just not responding.
Yeah.
So the first day, you want to do a phone call. You want to do an email, a text, and the most important, follow up with the realtor at the end of the day. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you can say, hey, Devin, man, I've reached out to Rick and, I've texted him, called him, and sent him an email. And I just wanted to give you an update that I haven't heard anything back from him. And I repeat that process. So Monday and Tuesday, if it's Monday and Tuesday, you call them and do the 4 contacts. You hit Wednesday, it's the 3rd day. I do 3. I do the call, the text, and I contact the realtor. Anytime you're talking to a borrower or when you're not getting to talk to the borrower, you should always follow up with the realtor that gave you the lead. So even if there's no connection, they do know that you tried and that you're working for them. So you do that 2 days. You go down to day 2, and it's 2 contacts. It's just the call, and it's the call to the realtor. And the last day, it's text, or the last 2 days, it's text. You're 1. It's the text, and it's the realtor. And you just, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you double down on it. You do it 2 days in a row each, and 6-day follow-up.
Yeah, and it says, Susie agent, I reached out and I actually made, a total of X amount of attempts, right, to touch base with the borrower, and they just weren't responding. And, you can even take that a step further. You can do it on the first communication, or you can do it, on the second or third day if you see that they're not calling you back, is the 3-way text. Right?
Yes.
The 3-way text is a great way to go because they know the agent's number, right? And most likely they have them programmed into the phone by that point in time. And effectively, if you do a 3-way text with the agent, hey, this is Steve here at fill in the blank mortgage company, right? And, we was talking to Stephanie, your amazing agent, right? And Stephanie said that you needed some help getting pre-qualified. When's a good time to talk, right? And it's as simple as that. And now the agent sees that you're making the attempt to reach out. And if the client doesn't respond to that 3-way text, they know they didn't respond. So, there's complete transparency that the attempts are being made, right? And now, if you're using a CRM system on that final 7th day, when you've made those 4, what'd you say, Coach, 4-2-2?
4-4-3-3-2-2-1-1. So it's about 14 contacts.
Yeah. Now, if you're using a CRM system, you can even go in and show them the contact rate, right? Hey, look, by the way, we reached out and they didn't respond, right? And they know that that's happening because at the end of the day, these agents work really hard for the lead. You worked really hard to get that agent. And if the agent doesn't know the transparency, that you're calling, You know that you're texting, you know that you're emailing, but if they don't know that and they don't see that, then it never happened, right?
Right. Yeah, perception is reality. And a lot of times, you can even talk to a borrower the first time and then all of a sudden they ghost you. And I think one of the things you have to remember, whether they've contacted you the first time or you've not talked to them at all, is to let them know, be compassionate. Let them know, hey, I understand what you're going through. It's a scary process to buy a home if it's a first time home buyer. I understand it's a scary process. I'm here to take the boo out of the situation. Let's just get together, let's talk. It doesn't cost you anything. And hopefully I can educate you and get you comfortable with, getting into home ownership because it is scary at the start.
Yeah, and together we're going to create a clear path to home ownership, right? That's what we're here for. We're going to create that path to home ownership, and we're going to guide you through the whole way, right? Because at the end of the day, we know what to expect. We're in this industry. The client doesn't always know what to expect, and when they start to get in and they realize all the caveats that there are to getting qualified, to finding the perfect home, to going through all the inspections, working with a professional becomes very important. So, if
Yep.
you can take all those scare tactics out of this is okay. We're going to guide you through. It's going to be an easy ride. I promise. That's what we're here for, right?
And a great line that you can use on them, and it's not just a line. Hopefully, every loan officer means it, but you know, hey, we're going to accomplish one of two things by the time we're done. We're going to accomplish a pre-approval to let you go out and buy a home, or we're going to accomplish putting together the plan that you need to follow to get into a home in the future.
That's it.
Two things, man, and both of them lead to a home.
Okay, so
So,
I know that I need to make all these contacts to 443322, right? But at the end of the day, I don't have time.
well, you can utilize a couple of different tools. One is if, depending on your volume, if you're working with an assistant or a pre-approval expert, they can handle doing some of those. If you're utilizing the right CRM, like we use at Premier Lending, you can program this into your system so that the text message and the email go out automatically, and then you're down to just the phone call. I think every loan officer should personally call their agents when they're given an update. And I would think, if you're doing one call a day to this borrower to try to get them, and the text and the emails going out automatically, I think you still should make that call, or your assistant, could make that call for you.
Well,
So
you
you
talk
just have to
strategy.
do it.
Yeah, you're talking strategy there. And, that's leaning into technology. And the technology doesn't have to look like it's not coming from you, right? At the end of the day, when you build out a really good CRM system, as you mentioned, like the platform that we use here, your text campaign can be directly from you. Hey, it's Devin at
Mhm.
Premier. You know, just want to know when a good time to talk would be, right? And the email again. Hey, it's Devin. I just left you a text message, and I wanted to follow up with the email. Hey, if it's easier for you to jump on my calendar, here's a link. Hey, by the way, or if you just want to start that application, here's a link to do that. But I'd love to talk to you so we can come up with that clear mortgage plan, right? And you could set this up to where you have a 7-day campaign that sends a text and an email on day number 1, a text and an email on day number 2. But then it's also tasking you to make the outreach calls so that you don't have to forget. It's already going to tell you, it's going to remind you, hey, you got to call, Rick again. Hey, call that lead for Rick again. And you can even task yourself to follow back up with the agent, right? You can add these types of sequences into the system, or you can take that a step further and program it into where it follows up with the agent for you, right? So, there are other techniques out there that can help you stay in front of that consumer. If you say, hey, man, I'm a super busy originator. I've got a lot going on, but I don't want to miss, the ability to contact. Well, let the system do some of the contact for you, but the call has to come from you. You have to make sure that you're doing the phone call, because let's talk about this too. And we talked about this earlier today on the Redder Morning Show, and I want to bring this up as well. Why? Actually, no, it wasn't the Redder Morning Show. It was actually on our coaching call with Ferris, our owner here at Premier Lending yesterday. And what we were talking about is the power of the personal touch of taking the application with the client.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what do you have to say about that, Coach? I've got my feelings on it, but I'd love to hear your input.
I 100% believe that a loan officer or the loan officer assistant should be taking that loan application. That way you can go spot by spot, question by question, and you can fill in all the blanks so that there aren't any ifs, ands, or buts. Did you work at this company 2 years? Oh, great. What was your start date? And the start date was a year and 8 months ago. Okay, that's a year and 8 months. We need that second job. So let's get that together. And we can eliminate problems like that at the start. Over the years as a manager, I had as many as almost 30 branches, and we had a ton of people working across the country. And I was the worst manager to work for one reason. I believe that 90% of all problems that happened on a loan happened right up front that the loan officer could have stopped. And, some people will argue with me. We're not talking about property issues and stuff that you couldn't have
Right.
detected. But if you're not looking at the pay stubs, the W-2s, their income, if you can't calculate their income and you can't tell me where the down payment is coming from, or where the down payment assistance going to come from, and who's going to pay the closing costs, then we've got issues right out of the start, and the loan officer hasn't done their job.
Yeah.
And I think by doing it live, you eliminate that. I think you build rapport, and I think you retain that borrower if something happens during the process, like a house sale falling through for some reason.
So I love that you took that approach, because you went more on the qualification side, making sure that you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's. And I think that's extremely important as well. But I take it from another approach. And the approach that I take it is the personal touch, right? So when you direct somebody to a application system, and I'm not saying that we don't ever use them, we definitely have them, and they are important to have. But what you're missing out on is that personal touch of the communication and getting to know the consumer, right? Why are they buying that home? Why is it important to them, right? What is it that they're trying to accomplish? What's that goal, right? And then there's just little things that you can do throughout the application to break the ice and start making friends, right? Because I'm a firm believer if you can get people to laugh on that initial consultation call, that you're going to build friends with them. So I've got some of the corniest jokes in the world that I've always used when I take applications with customers, and it's so funny because it seems to work every time. And one of them is when I get to the employment section, right? Actually, we start with their current address, right? I'm like, hey, so how long have you been in the house? Well, we've been in our current one for 7 years. Oh, you guys are probably still unpacking boxes. Ha, 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 ha. It sounds stupid. Let me tell you something. Just like you're giggling right now, Coach, every single person stops and they giggle when I say that. The second one is, hey, how long you been on the job? And if they say, man, I've been there for 24 years. I'm like, oh, you're the new guy, huh? You still fetching coffee?
Yeah.
And if they say, I've been there for 2 months, I'm like, oh, you're running the place. Yeah, you got the corner office. Same reaction every single time. We start to have fun with them. So now what we've done is we've broken some ice, but simultaneously we've found out what they're really trying to accomplish, what those goals are. And then we can use a little thing called future casting, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's something we used in the follow-up, right? After we get them pre-qualified, while they're out there looking for houses. And let's end it with the future casting, Coach. What does that look like? What is future casting?
Well, when you're talking to the borrowers and you're finding out what's driving them, they're just having their third kid, and they want a bigger house with a bigger yard, or their kids are now hitting high school age, and boy, it would be great to have a swimming pool because now they're hanging out at our house instead of being at somebody else's house. Those type of knowledge about those kind of things, or they got the house that has the mother-in-law suite that they're going to move mom into someday. Those are really important things no matter what level you're at buying. And even if you're just a first-time home buyer and you got a 2-year-old and you're thinking about what school district you want to be in, all of those things are triggers for what can set their emotions into a positive range for, yeah, I need to keep looking because I want a house in, the Northwood School District. Yeah, I really want that house with that fourth bedroom, man. My, 4 boys and 1 girl, she needs her own room,
100%.
you got to treat her like a queen, right? And then if you got that situation with the pool and having the kids around, I mean, you can bring up, you can tell stories. I can tell stories about that. I was that family.
Yeah.
We were the house with the swimming pool. And to this day, we've been at weddings where during the best man or even maid of honor speech, they say, and they met in the Koenig's hot tub. And those are memories that, if you don't have a hot tub or you don't have that pool, you're not going to be able to generate. So get them emotional. Build the relationship during that loan application. I did take it more towards the, doing your good job side. But
That's
one of
important
the things
too.
I said is you build the relationship by talking to them. You showed us how to take it deeper
Yeah.
on that application, and you can do all that in a 20-minute
20-minute
application.
application. Yeah, they're best friends with you by the time you get done. You guys are talking about next steps, and let's talk a little bit about that future casting. So now what you've captured is that the reason that they're buying this house is because they've got a baby on the way. Okay, that's information that's really important. They need a room for the baby. They want a place that the baby can grow up in a safe neighborhood, right? But more importantly, they're also having a baby. How exciting is that? You're buying a house and you're having a baby? Like, this is so exciting, right? So now when you're doing that follow up, so here, I'm going to future cast with you a little bit, right? So you've got the agent, you've captured the lead, you now have the client on the phone, and you future casted with the client. And so now you're doing your follow up 3 weeks later because they're still looking for a house and you want to make sure they're still engaged with you, right? So on that 3 week phone call, you've got it in your notes that they're having the baby, even though you've talked to 60 other clients since then, or hopefully you have if you're doing it right. And now we're future casting, so you got 60. And so now you're having that conversation with them when you're doing your update calls that week. And every week, by the way, make sure you reach out to them once you got them pre-qualified every single week. And you're saying, hey, by the way, how's the search coming this week? Did you guys find the perfect house yet? I know we want to get this done before the baby gets here, man, I know what you guys are looking for. You want that, that house with the perfect, bedroom, right school district, have you guys located it yet? Man, I can't wait to get you guys in your home and get you unpacked so you can start building out that nursery.
Yeah. Future cast with them, and then always follow up with the agent, especially if you're doing your weekly updates, and I know everybody teaches a different thing. I actually am being swayed to doing the updates on a Monday and calling realtors on a Tuesday, because the agents you already have deals going with, you're going to call them, you're going to give them the update, you're going to let them know what you're doing with these borrowers, while they're out looking, and you're going to ask for additional business. And who better to call on a Monday than somebody you already got deals going with to maybe get their next deal?
Yeah,
So,
see, I'm going to differ with you there. And the reason I like to do it at the end of the week, Thursday or Friday, I think either one is a good day to do it, is because here's what happens a lot of the times when a customer is getting ready and getting excited about, going out and looking for a house. If they haven't heard from you for a while, and it typically happens on a Saturday or a Sunday. Hey, have you heard from Rick? No, I haven't heard from Rick. Have you heard from Rick?
yeah.
No, I haven't heard from Rick either. So then they pick up the phone and they call you, and maybe you're at a ball game, right? And you can't pick up right then. And they're like, oh man, I don't know. He's not answering. And the next thing you know, they're on the phone with another loan officer who did pick up the phone because they're going out to look at a house that weekend. They want to put in an offer on it. And they end up going with another direction because that loan officer happened to be there and you weren't. So if you hit them up on a Friday or a Thursday and just say, hey, do you guys got any big plans for the weekend? You going out looking at houses? They say, yeah, we are. We might be putting in an offer on Saturday. Hey, well, great. Let's go ahead and get that rolling. Let's make that happen right now. So for me personally, I always like the end of the week follow up
Yep.
just to make sure that I'm available when they need me, right? And that way, when they're top of mind on a Saturday, Sunday, and I'm not there for some reason because I'm out enjoying life with my family, they have already been served and they're thinking about me. And that's my personal thought process behind it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now my Mondays is deals that are in process, so I kind of threw them into the wrong class. But you're right. We usually could call the pre-approved and lookings, or send them the text on a Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
we're here for you.
all that matters, Coach,
Is
is
your
your
doing
follow up.
follow up? That's what this whole thing
I
was
don't
about.
care what day you do it. Just make the phone calls. Make sure you stay in touch with folks. Do it at the beginning. Do it at the end.
Just do it, right?
Just do it. Just
I,
do
I
it and
got it
do
wrong. I
it
had to find it first,
and
but it's
do it
there.
and do it and do it. And you're going to be successful in this industry and in any industry, right? It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're in sales, stay in front of your customers. It's so important. So, Coach, anything else you want to take us out with before we wrap up today?
Yeah, I think we can talk next week about some of the activities that people have done in the recent year that have helped them grow their business from literally almost zero up to $50 million in a year. How about that?
How about that? How
Heard
about
their
that? What a
story today, so I'm going to
cliffhanger to
use that
leave it on.
story.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. So let's show some folks how others are having success in their industry right now.
Yeah.
Well, hey
And if you're
guys,
looking, if they're looking to have some success and want some help from guys like me and you and our leader Faris Faraj over at Premier Lending, give us a call. We'll help you put together the business plan. Yeah, that phone
yeah.
works both ways. You
Call
can call
me.
us too.
Hey, call me or just click down there in the description because you can jump right on the calendar with Coach Rick or myself at any time. We are always here to talk, and if you need that advice, and if you're at a company and they're just not giving you the information that you need, you're not getting that oomph that gets you over the hump and gets you to that next level, right? We'd love to be there for you. We'd love to be a part of your plan too. And Coach, I don't know about you, but I think we'll follow up.
Yeah, I think we'll follow up too, and if they follow up with us on the next show, we might even talk about, how can you have a $10,000 guarantee that you're going to accomplish some of these goals.
Yeah,
We might
that's
have
right.
to talk about that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's talk about some free money. Everybody likes free money. So, well, guys, this is your Coach's Corner. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm Coach Rick Koenig.
We appreciate you stopping by. And until the next time, we'll see you then.
Or go Reds.